In this training video, we are going to walk through the recruiter and student interfaces as if you were logging in as a recruiter or a student. It is important to get familiar with the recruiter and student interface because sometimes they will call asking for your help to navigate through certain procedures. Here on the left side of the screen of the recruiter support layout, we have the Contacts tab and the Students tab. First off, let's take a look at one of the fake recruiter accounts that we've created called Bilbo Baggins. If we click on the Contacts, then we can search for his name right here in the keyword search bar. Once Bilbo Baggins' name appears, you'll click on his name. Now this is Bilbo Baggins' account from the Manager interface. What we're interested in looking at today is this Login As feature here. So go ahead and click on the Login As. You'll notice that a new window appears with the Bilbo Baggins account as he would view his own account as a recruiter. On this page, we can actually amplify the screen by clicking on this Separate Window tab. This takes us to what Bilbo Baggins sees as a recruiter in the system. You'll notice on the home page that he has all the announcements which we have posted, different alerts for him to stay up to date for on-campus recruiting and different schedules that he has posted. And up at the top here, you'll notice these different tabs as part of the recruiting process. Let's click on the Account tab. This tab holds all the information for Bilbo's account. You'll notice it has his contact type, his full name, the division he's in, email, phone, the company address, the policy affirmation, which affirms that he is willing to follow by the BYU guidelines for recruiting, and other privacy information for messages and emails through the system. The next tab at the top of the page that we'll look at is the Calendar tab. On this tab, you'll notice that there's a calendar for the employer to review, which has different holidays and other on-campus events coming up. If you click on the Profile tab at the top, it will take you to the Company Profile. You'll notice on this page that the Company Profile is different than Bilbo Baggins' personal profile that we found under the Account tab. On the profile for the company, we see different fields for the industry, an overview of what the company does, different products and services and divisions that are part of the company address, and other additional information for students to view. Again, at the top of our screen, you'll notice the next tab is the non-OCR jobs. Non-OCR stands for non-on-campus recruiting. Employers have the option of posting their non-OCR jobs and can also review the different resumes that students submit for each posting. The next tab at the top of our screen is the resume books. This portion of the system is where recruiters can view resume books that have been posted by students. Resume books are only available upon request. The next tab at the top of our screen is on-campus interviews. This tab will house all of the schedules that are currently existing for employers that are coming on campus to conduct interviews. It also holds all of the positions that are attached to those schedules, all interview schedules, all applicants to those job positions, a waiting list, and the download of all the different resumes which have been submitted to their job postings. Occasionally, here at the recruiter support team, we'll send out different surveys to employers. Those surveys can be found under the Surveys tab at the top of their screen. The next tab at the top of the screen is Recruiting Events. Under the Recruiting Events tab, employers have access to different career fairs on campus. Employers also have access to submit requests to come on campus and hold an information session for their company. Let's return now to our Home tab. We want to remind you that this tutorial will be helpful as recruiters will call you often asking for help over the phone or through email. We want you to be able to help them find the resources that they need. Now let's look at the student interface. Now when looking at a student account, we'll come back here to the Student and Alumni tab and we'll search for Richard Fake Student. It's an account that we've set up for this training. You'll go ahead and click on the last name just like we did with the contact. And what you'll see is there's an overview tab, the core with all of the student information, with contact information, phone numbers, email. You'll also see their documents that they've uploaded and other tabs. But what we're going to focus on again today is this login as tab right here. So go ahead and click on that. Okay, and then you'll notice here that the home screen for a student looks very similar to the one that we've already seen for a contact. So what we're going to do is click on this pop-out window again, oops, right here, and that will take us to a different screen. Now again, like we did with the contact, we're just going to go through tab by tab up here at the top to show you the different benefits that a student has with the system. So right here on their home screen, you'll notice that they have a news feed where they'll have job notifications come up, different things on the schedule or on the calendar that are near approaching. There's the different events. There's different shortcuts that they can click on. So we're going to go up here to the My Profile tab and explore a little bit. Under the My Profile tab, the first thing that you'll notice is that there's percentages of how much of the profile is actually completed, and it will tell you which fields you still need to complete in order to take that percentage up to 100%. So there's a personal field here that goes through a student's picture, their alternate emails, different status, their phone number. The academic information here is more about if you have a minor, or if you're in clubs, or if you have a different geographical preference for where you want to work or find a career. So that's the first profile tab here. Let's move on now to the Documents tab. Right here under the Documents tab, you'll notice that a student can upload their resume, cover letter, transcripts, or any other documents that the employers need. Now let's move on to our Jobs tab up at the top. Under the Jobs tab, what you'll notice is there are all jobs, recommended jobs, your favorite jobs, and your current applications. Let's move on to a different tab up at the top here, our Employer tab. The Employer tab is the place to go if you ever want to find a company or a contact in the system. You'll notice the other sub-tabs underneath the Employer tab here. There's Employers, Favorite Employers, which is an option to click on the star next to the company name, and it will actually add it to your favorite and will update job postings and information and announcements on your home page, much like a smart search engine like Amazon.com. There's also the contacts and your favorite contacts. So if there's a person in particular that you've been working with at a company that's one of your favorites, then you can place the plus mark on the star next to their name, and they will also be added to your favorites on the home screen. The next tab at the top here is Interviews. Under this tab, you'll see all of the interviews that you've requested and all of those which you have scheduled. The next tab at the top is Surveys. Any surveys that have been launched by the recruiter support team will be shown here under the Surveys tab. The next tab at the top of our screen as a student is the Events tab. Under this tab, you can view any career fairs that are happening on campus, any information sessions based on a company you're interested in, or any workshops for resume reviews or other interviewing tips. The next tab at the top is the Calendar tab. Under the Calendar tab, you'll notice that the agenda on this calendar holds everything from resume submission dates to interviews or on-campus information sessions for students. So this wraps up our training for today on the contacts and the student user interface. Again, we just want to reiterate the importance of understanding and becoming familiar with both the contact and the student interface, as you will often come across both recruiters and students that have questions about the system.